Am I the only one I can, Parker?
Yeah, I'm not getting them.
No, what am I doing?
Now I'm getting them.
That's what I get from my bad. Episode 73 coming out. I'm excited. So excited. I forgot to turn my mic on. But with us, we got the Chant Show coming all the way from Coastal with us. We appreciate the hell of you guys hopping on with us. Big Coastal fans, meet Big App fans. Wednesday, it's about to go down, and we're excited to talk about it. But boys, thank you so much for hopping on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, big college football. We've got to talk about some of the major storylines. Then we're gonna put the gloves off. We're gonna talk some App Coastal. But let's start with the major news coming out. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Coach O, it's his last gumbo. It's his last dance style season at LSU. There's been a lot of behind the scenes things going on, and I just want to get everybody's thoughts on this whole scenario. Did Coach O get short in the straw here, or is LSU making the right decision?
How long was he there?
Not 4 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 4 seasons.
It dumbfounds me.
Well, and to get fired this quickly after a national championship, right? Like winning a chip should get you an automatic 5-year contract, and instead, we're 2 years out and he's gone like that. There's got to be more to this story than just underperforming football team. There has to be.
Yeah, and I thought he would have saved his job last weekend after beating Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, one thing for me is, that 2019 national championship team was probably going to go down as one of the best of all time. I mean, offensive coordinator and, Joe Burrow and the weapons that he had with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, that is hard to replace. So, I feel like the players that Coach O had were good, but I don't think they were up to the par of the players that he had on that national championship team.
Yeah, absolutely.
What'll be interesting is to see, if he gets picked up anywhere. And I think that'll be indicative of what you all mentioned of, is something going on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily know about, or if it was truly just a performance issue, what college is going to roll the dice and say, yeah, like, he won a championship. Let's go. I think that's probably the most intriguing part for me, at least.
Yeah, I saw some reporting earlier this week that, he was allowing girlfriends and kids and stuff to attend practices and participate in drills. And you can't have that, man. Like at a top level school like LSU, what school is going to sign up for that? Right? Like a personality like Coach O would do well at a smaller school and they'll tolerate that kind of garbage, but you got to live up to LSU and you got to live up to that championship level, and he just never did it.
Yeah, I'm looking at his history just because I don't know enough about his history, but so he did 2 stints at USC. Between that was Ole Miss. He did go to the NFL. He was at the Saints and the Titans. I think defensive line was his focus, maybe something else. And then LSU, and I think we can agree, he's probably at his peak where winning the championship with LSU. Can he go somewhere else and bring a title? I think he could. I think they pulled the trigger a little fast, and it doesn't look like he's got much NFL experience. That he'd probably stay close to home. My question would be: is he going to a team in the SEC and try to get payback on LSU?
The SEC loves to do that stuff. They love to hire other people's trash.
Exactly, yeah. And, I wouldn't put it past him, but at the same time, I think you're right. I think his vibe and what he wants is more of a smaller school type of deal. And, he can bring all the girlfriends out there, all the kids, and let them have fun, baby. And he'll go win some bowl games at a smaller school. But I don't know, man. It just shocked me. It really rocked me. Let me spin it. Who's taking over the LSU job? Any front runners that we think, hey, they're taking it?
I certainly don't think it's Jimbo Fisher after what he said this past weekend. He said that he was full in on A&M, and they asked him about it. And he's up there on the odds in Vegas, but I don't think there's a chance he's there. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, James Franklin is a guy that gets thrown out all the time. Turned around a Vanderbilt team. Well, built a Vanderbilt team. There's nothing to turn around when you're always terrible. But turned around a Penn State team coming off of sanctions. Like, that's a guy that you place him in SEC country, he's going to win recruiting battles against, Florida and Alabama and Texas A&M, and those guys down there. I really think he's got to be considered for this job, and I think he would take it if it was offered.
Yeah, hands down.
I haven't been
nice.
really.
I saw the list come out today for like all the front runners for the odds, and it was nice to see Jamie Chadwell not mentioned on there, especially last year with South Carolina. It was nice to see him not on there. I'm glad about that.
Yeah, that surprised me. I'm surprised I didn't see him on the odds list because for me, I mean, him and Cincinnati's head coach, I'm going blank right now. They've done a hell of a job for the past couple seasons. You think they might be ready to jump ships, but I know you boys are happy about that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I haven't read much into the headlines, but how much is like Urban Meyer's name being tossed out there?
I saw it on the list.
Yeah, he's getting drawn more to like USC than LSU, which I think he would fit the USC vibe a little bit more than Deep South, LSU. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's one and done in the NFL, especially if that win last week is the Jaguars only this season. He's perfect candidate for me to jump ship and go back to what he knows best in college.
Exactly. And I've said this 3 weeks in a row now. I think he is sabotaging his career. Last week was like, hey, I can show you I can still win big games. Now, fight on, baby. Hire me. Let's go. But I'm with you. I think he's a USC type of cat. But hey, I'm excited to see what Coach O does. Hey, maybe they, run the table here and make a decent bowl game, and he gets to ride off in a sunset with a Gatorade bath and some gumbo. But I'm excited to see where he's going to land next. I really like his energy. I like his personality, and X and O's. I don't know if that's his thing, but he needs really good coordinators around him. But he's just a hell of a guy. Good dude.
Absolutely.
Love his voice.
Yeah, exactly. We're missing Devin. Devin does a great Coach O impersonation. He's coaching a makeup football game for COVID reasons, so he'll miss this game, he'll miss this pod. But we'll get him to do it next week. The other big news out in Washington State, Coach Rolovich declines the COVID vaccine. 4 of their assistants do as well. State mandate goes in effect. If you're employed by the state, you have to get vaccinated. He doesn't, and he is fired on the spot. Tim, I know you feel strongly about this issue. Take it away for us.
Oh, well, for you fellows who may not be aware of my perspective, I'm very much against, people deciding that, their personal health is more important than that of the general public. I'm pro-vaccine. Get the vaccine, and I'm totally cool with the team saying, "Hey, if we can't guarantee your, you being here every week and with the team, then you're a liability." And I'm cool with them saying, if you don't get it, you're out. And I'm glad they backed it up. I wonder if any other dominoes are going to fall from this, but I'm certainly for it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I feel like in a situation with, especially as a football coach, as a head football coach, you've got to set an example for A, the public, B, your students, and C, your players as well, right? If you're willing to put yourself above others in this situation, you don't deserve to be in a high-profile position like that, right? And even if he's also putting the team in danger of just like, all right, well, here's an outbreak, and now we can't play our game against Cal, and the school's out that ticket money. The school doesn't get a win. They don't get a loss. They don't get considerations for bowl games. It's stupid all around, and I'm totally behind Wazoo in letting him walk.
Yeah, and I don't know if this was something that he obviously knew about this mandate, but I think it was something he just didn't think they were going to actually back up and go and fire their head football coach just like that. But they did, and props to him for doing it. So.
And for me personally, I mean, I'm all for everybody going out. I want this to get over with as soon as possible. I think we all want us to get back to the normalcy that we had before, in 2019. So for me personally, I mean, I agree with Wazoo for what they did. And, it's tough. You hate to see a coach like that, along with his 4 assistants, leave like that. But you got to think of the safety of everybody else that's involved in that program.
Yeah, exactly. And, this kind of reminds me of the Kyrie Irving situation going on that, you can stand by your personal beliefs all you want, but our personal beliefs is don't let the door hit you on the way out. And that's the way it is. And, like, you want to collect a paycheck or not. And yeah, absolutely. Fitz, anything? I know you like to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I don't really like to play devil's ad on this one. Yeah, I'm actually just kind of sick of these stories.
Well, hey, let's turn to some funner stuff here. No more resigns and fires. We'll stop there. But let's talk about some undefeated teams, and your boys are doing it. Undefeated teams left. We got Coastal, Wake, Michigan State, Michigan, Cincinnati, Georgia, Oklahoma State, San Diego State, UTSA, and SMU. Very few teams are left there. How are we feeling, especially you Coastal guys? I know you're loving this. Who's going to be the last team standing for us?
Oh, man.
You're going to put us on the spot. I mean, I think Coastal finishes the season 13-0. I really do. I don't see a team that competes with Coastal the way that it competes with Coastal's offense anyways. I think Coastal's offense can put up 50 on anybody outside of Georgia and Penn State and Alabama, right? Like, I think those are the only teams that can contain Coastal's offense. So I think you end the season with an undefeated Cincinnati before the playoffs, an undefeated Georgia, and an undefeated Coastal.
Yeah, and I was looking at more of the SMU and UTSA, and I think SMU takes that loss to Cincinnati. But UTSA has a very manageable schedule. They play San Diego State. No, they don't play San Diego State, but they're in Conference USA, so I think they're going to win out as well. And San Diego State's got a couple tough games, Boise and Nevada, but I think they also have a fairly solid chance to win out.
I gotta roll with the Chanticleers. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it again. I think they're out to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, anyways. So I think this really, we were talking about in our podcast, this is the toughest game we have really left on our schedule against Appalachian State. So tomorrow's going to tell the story of we can go up there and get a win. And I don't see anybody else on the rest of our schedule beating us. But I do believe that us, along with Georgia's got a historic defense. They're looking very historic right now. And I don't see anybody beating them. I don't even think Bama can beat them. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I see just those two. I believe Cincinnati probably does as well, but I would love for them to lose. But I mean, I would love for it, but I don't see it happening either.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you guys were saying about Georgia. I mean, geez, you watch them and they're just beating opponents like it's a cakewalk. It's actually, it reminds me of like the dominance of Alabama. Like this year, they've shown some flaws in the armor, but like, just watching them, it's impressive. And it's hard to say, you know what, I think this team could beat them. So, I think they'll certainly go undefeated. I do think that if y'all go ahead and beat App, I think, like you mentioned, you're going to run the table. I'm looking at your schedule, and I mean, you guys have been laying waste to everyone so far. It looked like the Buffalo game was a little tight, but score says it could be, totally different than actually watching the game. But yeah, I want to say you guys won't go undefeated tomorrow, but if you certainly win, then yeah, I think you guys could do it. Got a good squad.
Yeah, and I'm torn. Like I know I've got the App State A over my shoulder here, but I'm so against just college football shafting the teams that go undefeated that I wouldn't be upset if you guys just kind of smacked us and just took it and took down a good App State team pretty handedly to make them waffle their decision. However, if it's
What the hell is
close,
going on, Fitz?
however, hey, I'm just saying, if it's close, I'm gonna be pulling for App State. But I'm just saying, if y'all start putting it away, it's like, all right, just go ahead and ride off in the sunset. It's not our year. I always got to pull for the little guy in college football.
The comments of Fitz does not reflect his employer of Pub Sports Talk whatsoever.
This is the insanity of college football. It's my soapbox every week. It's like, what am I actually pulling for? What am I actually watching?
Yeah. Hey, there's Cincinnati. Pull for them. All right, come on. What are we doing? No, I mean, absolutely. Like you want to see the small dogs, and you're right. Like until we expand the playoffs, there's always going to be a team that gets the short end of the stick. And yeah, you guys are absolutely right. Your offense has been blowing teams out. It's kind of a flip flop. Defense was lights out last year, and they're still good this year. Yeah. Offense was good last year, but now it's kind of flip flop. Offense is lights out. Defense is still, they can hold their own, but offense is the show. That's the money ticket. Man,
yeah, absolutely.
Wednesday, it's a telltale sign because you're right. After that, you get Louisiana in the championship, and we found out the hard way, but I think it was a trap game. But we'll save that for another soapbox. But
here's the thing: is like, as Coastal fans, y'all had to be pulling for App State pretty much all the way. Once Louisiana Lafayette lost, I mean, like, in a perfect world, App State would have beat Miami. Yep. We would have beat Louisiana Lafayette, and this would be like number 14 Coastal playing against number 23 App State. With
we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that pretty regularly. Of like, not only is Coastal's schedule really bad, we needed like a marquee game. We needed Louisiana Lafayette to beat Texas. We needed App State to come into this game 6-0, or at worst 5-1 with a close loss to Miami type thing, right? Because now the detractors that Coastal and all small schools have always had, they just point to Coastal's schedule and go, yeah, well, you beat UCant and UAss and at Kansas. Congratulations. Like, good work. And it's tough for Coastal to come out and say, hey, well, we're still 12-0. We're headed into a Sun Belt championship game and get any respect because App State has lost this game and because I think Lafayette is a good team, but I think they'll lose again at some point.
Yeah, that is one thing. We've been rooting for App State and Louisiana every single week except for when they play us because it makes the conference better as a whole, and it really makes everybody look better as a whole, and especially for our schedule. So we were pulling for you guys against Miami especially.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. As App guys, we felt the same way because you're right. The Sun Belt, they need a marquee matchup. They need a top 25 matchup, or at least a couple of them because, I mean, we're not pulling Cincinnati. We're not going Notre Dame. We're not going up to South Bend and beating them. We needed some conference heat, and unfortunately this season we don't get it. But hell, Wednesday, we'll see what happens. But let's talk about this week's games. We got some major games popping off. Obviously, the big one that we all have circled out is Coastal at App. Then we got number 8 Oklahoma State going to Iowa State. Iowa State's unranked, not a bad squad though. Number 10 Oregon at UCLA, Clemson at number 23 Pitt, and number 22 San Diego State at Air Force. Besides the matchup that we're all here for, any of these games really intrigue us.
It's weird this week has no top 25 matchups, so there's not a whole lot of like that game. That's the one to circle, right? I think our matchup tomorrow is the one that I'm watching most closely, not only because I'm a fan, but because I think it's the most competitive game on the schedule this week. I'm also going to look forward to Pitt playing. I want to see how good Kenny Pickett really is. That guy is one of those dark horse candidates for the Heisman that has been lighting it up this season, but hasn't really played anybody yet. So let's see what he can do against a Clemson defense.
Yeah, exactly.
One game I'm looking forward to is Oregon UCLA. UCLA, they started out the season pretty good. They beat LSU. LSU came in there into their house and they beat them. And Ed Orgeron had it with that one fan. He told him, we all saw the video. So but yeah, UCLA. I think UCLA can upset the Oregon Ducks, and I'm not taking nothing away from Oregon. I think Oregon's had a spectacular season ever since they went up and beat Ohio State at Ohio State. So I think that UCLA, that could be an upset alert right there.
That game's at UCLA, I think, and
Correct.
I'm actually going to roll with UCLA in that. I think DTR gets it done, and Oregon's been a weird team to watch this year. They almost lost to Fresno State, and Fresno State's good as well, but I really think UCLA is going to win that game this weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. Chip Kelly rocks out the white visor. UCLA hammer down on him. They get it done. I'm a big visor fan, Chip Kelly. You're right. No top 25 matchups this week, and I really had to sit there and pull some teeth for some of these games for top, week 8 must watches. Oklahoma State. This might be a trap game for them against Iowa State. Iowa State 5-2. We've written them off. They're dead done. Put them through a table. Oklahoma State might be looking ahead of the calendar there, counting their chips before they hatch. There's going to be some good football games, but you're absolutely right. Tomorrow night's game is the one that we're all here for. That's the one we care about. So let's dive into it. We got a little 3-on-3 here. Well, hell, Fitz might have, went to the other side there. Who knows? Coastal app kicking off tomorrow night. Over-under set 59.5. Coastal -4 favorite. So who we picking and why are we picking it? Predicting score, all that stuff. Lay it on us.
Yeah, so we went over this earlier this week in our podcast. My predicted score is around 38-31. I think the over hits barely at the end of the game. I think it gets close. And I think you guys keep around with us pretty much all game. And then we get ahead maybe 2 touchdowns in the fourth. And then something like you guys score a touchdown late, go for an onside kick. I think that's the type of game it's going to be. You guys have a very solid squad, and regardless of what happened last week, I know every single one of those App State players is not ready to hand the Sun Belt throne over to Coastal yet, and you're going to give us everything we want and then some. So it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I told the guys, I said, I think that the quarterback play is going to be key. We know Grayson, how fluid he is with the offense. But I told him I was curious about Chase Bryce. I was curious to see what he was going to do in this game. And, we looked at the statistics of how he played, and he really hasn't had the season, that, we were looking for him to have. But I was curious to see how he was going to play. I said the prediction for my game, I said 31-21 Coastal. I think it's going to be close. But then I think at the end, second half, I think that Coastal's going to run away with it just simply because of this being a rivalry game, and it's been tough going up there trying to play you guys in Boone. But I think that they get over that ship this week and they get it done.
Yeah, I think Coastal's offense is just too good to stop. I think that's the biggest thing, right? I think you guys' offense is a really good chug down the field, score points, control the ball, play possession, right? But I don't think you guys will be able to put up the amount of points that Coastal can. Again, we all think it's going to be close. We're all predicting a Coastal win, but not by a whole lot. I have it at 42-31. I know my spread's a little bit larger than everybody else, but I think it's really close going into the fourth quarter, and then Coastal gets a couple quick-fire touchdowns and kind of puts it to bed.
See, I think App State, what has really shined this year is their defense. I think in the Miami game that showed, the only one was Louisiana Lafayette. And,
nobody showed up for that game.
No one showed up.
Defense.
We hung around, but, the score looks worse than probably the game was. We were still hanging around. But, I think you guys nailed it. Is Chase Bryce. I think there were a lot of expectations. And it's just been – it's been a little deflating. I think I had high hopes for him. And part of it is it's his first year in this system too. And I think, some things just take time, and he's had to bounce around, which is hard. But yeah, the one thing is I think our defense can stabilize you guys. I had to look up the temperature. It's going to be low 50s by kickoff tomorrow, and it's going to drop into the high 40s. Could play into the hands of the Mountaineers. I think Boone's the X factor. I think App State wins by a field goal. Let's just say 27-24 App.
Wow, Evan, that was exactly my take too. I had the same score, 27-24. We've interviewed a lot of App State players, and as I'm sure you guys are aware, they've had this game circled on the calendar since day one. I think this game, I think our defense is going to provide, some stops. I think there are going to be some key stops, and it's going to be a tight one. But I got to give it to my Appalachian Mountaineers. So ASU.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody took my points there, which that's the sucky part about going last there. But we've had really nice guys on, T. Hinney and Caden, and the nicest guys you ever meet. And they, as soon as they said, "Hey, what's the number one game?" Face change, demeanor change, Coastal, without a doubt. We've had some guys who are rough and tough. Meach and TD Roof and said, "Hell yeah, Coastal, we got circled up in blood, baby. Let's go." And on the flip side, we had Isaiah Likely on from Coastal about a year ago. Didn't mention that. He's like, "I'm worried about Cincinnati. I want to face some other big time schools." Now, that's a year ago, right? Coach has been in the grill for 7 days a week. Hey, it's Boone, baby. The Boone weather's coming. There might be some snowflakes. That wind's going to be howling. They're all going to be locked in. Every single player on that team, offense, defense, special team, is locked in. This is going to be one hell of a game to watch. App typically does not do well on Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday night games. We're a Saturday team, black on black, typical Saturday. We need it. I'm hoping we change our luck this week and give me App State 41-38. I like that spread. I like some points being scored. I'm a big offensive guy. But, yeah, this is one hell of a battle. I'm excited for it. And I don't know, are you boys going up there?
And that's the biggest travesty in all of this is that it's on a Wednesday night and none of us can travel.
Oh.
Like, that's the big – like, as soon as this schedule came out and we saw that it was Wednesday night in Boone, I tried everything and anything to get up there. But I got to turn around and be in class on Thursday. And so it's like I'm stuck. I can't. And a lot of the student body here feels the same way. We're all not happy with the Sun Belt for scheduling the marquee matchup of the season on a Wednesday night. Give us a chance to get up there to Boone and support the boys. And next year when you guys come down here, put it on a Saturday so you guys can come down here too. Like, it's insane that it's on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's one thing. Last year, we could only have 5,000 fans in our stadium, but there were probably 700-800 App State fans. I was at that game, and you guys traveled very well for that game and were very loud the entire game. So props to y'all for that. That's how we were trying to be this year.
Yeah, I truly believe that we were going to bring a lot of fans if they had allowed us to play on the day that we could all get to go, like on a weekend, like a Saturday. But it is unfortunate. You guys. I know you guys are going to bring your fan base. You guys are probably – it's going to be ruckus for us. But I know that they've been in a situation before and played well, so they'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an environment, but you're absolutely right. Coastal, they're no stranger to it. They've been to Boone before, and they've been to some other harsh places. I hate it. Like, what the hell? When did the Sun Belt become the MAC and start playing on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights? Like, come on, what are we doing?
Well, it's fun. Coastal has played more non-Saturday games this season than games on Saturday as a top 25 team. What bullshit is that?
Exactly.
Come on, man. Like, let us have an environment. Let us try and build a fan base. You can't build a fan base when they don't know what day the game is on, man.
Come on. Like, yeah, I absolutely agree. Conclusion at Sun Belt and, NCAA, they don't want to see us succeed. I don't know what it is. But, hey, boys, thank you so much for hopping on. I wish you guys were coming up Wednesday. I'd say get together. I'll give you guys if I talk a couple of beers and some merch and stuff. But, hey, we'll get together soon, and we'll chop it down. You guys made a bowl game. Hell, boys, let's travel with them. Maybe we represent the Sun Belt and root for those guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Wednesday goes.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much for having us on. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Anytime.
Thanks, fellas.
Feel free to plug what you want real quick.
Yeah,
Where to
so
find you
follow us on Instagram at The Shant Show, or at Shant Show on Instagram, on Twitter at The Shant Show. Posting episodes, trying to get twice a week. We're starting our athlete interview series coming up here shortly, so look out for those. So we appreciate it so much, guys. Thanks a lot.
Shant's up.
See you, fellas.
You boys be good.
Thank you.
Roll Nears.
Oh, man. Good, solid group of dudes there. We appreciate the hell of them hopping on. And, tomorrow night, boys, I'm excited to go up there. Tim, Evan, I know you guys can't get up there, but I'll be up there. Maybe Slate can sneak up there. Who knows? But It's gonna be rowdy, and I'm excited for it. Cold beer will be flowing, so life's good.
Pub
Well, let's talk
going
about
live?
some other sports news. Yeah, a lot.
We going live?
Yeah. Hey, I think so. Why not, right? Throw out some bottle openers, by the way. You guys want some bottle
Yeah.
openers? Go ahead, hit us up on Instagram, Pub Sports Talk. We'll hook you up, and we'll get them out to you ASAP. But let's talk about some other big news. Let's talk about some NBA action. Ben Simmons, we talked about him last week. And right after we done talking to him, guess what? That sucker shows up to training camp. He reports to camp, and life seems good. Like, oh, maybe Ben Simmons is back with Philly. Who knows? Then today's news breaks, and he is suspended from the team. Apparently, an altercation got in the middle of practice. Some fists were thrown, and Ben Simmons is done, dead. Get him out of Philly. I don't know, but he's suspended at least. Doc Rivers was not having that at all. So what a crazy 72 hours for Ben Simmons. You know, everybody's like, oh, maybe he does play for Philly. Maybe he did wise up. Nope, not so much.
It's just a whirlwind. I mean, golly, this kid, he's really just like spiraling down the toilet bowl here. Like someone has to intervene and say, hey, get it together. Because, you know, if he keeps this up, like, he's not going to be in the league. Teams aren't going to put up with this. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, if you have a player like Ron Artest, who, you know, is known for getting into a ruckus, but he produces on the court. He makes things happen, or he did. This, you just, to have a performance, you know, putter out like last season, and then this, like, you were just, this is no bueno, man. Come on.
This could be like, this may not be the time to do this, but this could be like the biggest train wreck of an NBA career. Maybe even the conversation like a sporting career. I mean, he was he not like rookie of the year? And then it's just been a downward spiral.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been crazy.
I mean, the only recent NBA name that comes to mind is Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
I don't think he was as promising as Ben Simmons, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right. Rookie of the year. He goes on, and we thought, hey, this guy's Philadelphia. They're going to trust the process here, and they're going to go win some championships. And not the case.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. It's a whirlwind. You're exactly right, Tim. And I hate it for him. Hey, maybe goes to the NBA G League. Shout out our girl Johanna, and he gets his act together, and then he's able to rise to the top again. But that's going to take some humility, which a lot of young people don't have. You know, especially when you're given millions of dollars and told you're the best rookie in the world, and then I don't know.
See, his best bet would be like Sean Livingston, but he wouldn't do that. And also, he's not Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston is a good basketball player. Was like the number one basketball player, and injuries kind of routed his career and made him into a role player. But
yeah,
I think that's Ben Simmons. He has to embrace the role of, I can come off the bench and be a backup guard to like Russell Westbrook or one of these premier guards.
Yeah, and I don't know if he'll swallow his pride or not. Hate to see it. Let's talk a little baseball. Once again, Slate's not here.
Dang it.
But we're going to do our best to cover some baseball. Things are heating up. Braves, Dodgers, Red Sox, Astros. Red Sox up 1 game on your Astros there, Tim. And Braves 2-0 against Dodgers. They're playing right now, so I'm curious to see how that game's going to end up. But, you know, not a huge baseball show except for Slate. But really curious to see, out of those 4 teams, who are you all predicting to make it out? Make it to the world championship.
Well, when the bracket came out, it was definitely the NLDS side that I thought was going to produce the champion. When it was, you know, Braves and Brewers, Dodgers, Giants, which went to 5, and that was a crazy finish with the check swing. I just don't see, like, I think Boston will probably make it. I think they'll be the story, like the wild card, and it could be a good series. You know, it could easily, it could be a series. But I'm taking the NLDS, and I'm probably gonna take the Braves. I think it's gonna be Braves Sox and
Chopping them
Yeah.
down.
You boys already know. You know, when you're pushed up against the wall and you got to start scratching and clawing, you find ways to win. Yeah, sure. Might be in a gray area or two, but the Astros are going to win. They're going to find a way to win. They're going to get every dang trash can in the building.
they
Start
can't.
beating the tar out of it.
They're watching them like hawks, Tim.
This is how you evolve as a team. When you are oppressed, you learn and you grow and you adapt. I'm telling you, they're going to find a new way to win. To win.
That's a hot take.
What is this is so random. So I know the Braves are their Truist Park, and then Astros are Minute Maid. What are the Dodgers and Red Sox? What's their like premier sponsor?
Oh, their spot. I don't know.
Or like
you
their
know.
stadium?
I know Red Sox is Fenway.
Yeah. Do they have like a? They don't have like a big sponsor though.
I don't know. Would you put a sponsorship on such an iconic landmark like that?
No.
Like Wrigley Field, right? You want to call it Verizon TV?
Yeah.
You know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
And the Dodgers, it's California, it's Los Angeles. They've got to sell out, right? I'm sure there's a sponsor there.
I was just trying to think. Definitely Minute Maid is the best stadium.
That's a hell of one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question, Fitz. Listeners, watchers, let us know if you guys know it. I'm too lazy to Google it. But, you know, Braves are up 5-2 against the Dodgers, bottom of the sixth right now. It looks like the Braves are going to win, and then they play game 4 tomorrow night. You know, Red Sox, Astros, they'll kick off here in a little bit. I think Red Sox. I love their story, their wild card. It kind of reminds me of the 4 nights in October, 30 for 30. They were the underdog. I want to see the Red Sox do it again. Why not? Jay Gray, I know you're a big Boston fan. Rise up, Red Sox. And I want to see the Red Sox bring it home. I don't think I can handle Braves fans winning. There's just so many in this area, especially in Carolinas. I just can't do it. Sorry, Elena.
Yeah, I just remembered I now have beef with Jay Gray, so yeah, I'm not pulling for him.
Why do you have beef there, Fitz?
She's talking smack about my Packers at the wedding. Out of nowhere.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, boys, do we want to talk about some NFL?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Now, let's go ahead. Let's talk about some scores from last week. I mean, some major games, and really we can start with Monday night's game. Tennessee and Buffalo. Buffalo elects not to kick the field goal to go to overtime, and Josh Allen gets stuck on a QB sneak with 1 yard to go. I don't blame Buffalo for going for it, especially because do you trust your defense to stop Derrick Henry, who's just all hell King Henry, right? Slate missed a really great episode here. Missed all his catchphrases. But, Tennessee looked hella good. Maybe they're back. Maybe I'm back on that bandwagon. I don't know, but
I called that game. I said the Bills have not faced a running back like Derrick Henry. They haven't faced a running back really in their opening, and everyone was raving about the Bills defense and this offense. I just said I think Derrick Henry is going to have a day, and he did. But I was surprised by the fourth down call. QB sneak, I mean, the run right before it looked like Allen, he had a great run, just a few inches off the mark. And it's like, okay, he can fall forward and get it. But when they lined up, I thought they need to go shotgun pass. I thought that the Bills were dissecting the Titans pass game. And again, Tennessee's got Kansas City this week, and I think Mahomes is due for one of his biggest afternoons. But it was just a weird call. It's like that's the call. I don't know. I didn't love it. I thought that was playing right into the hands of the Titans and game. So big moment for Tennessee.
Huge moment. And see, I'm the opposite. I think Josh Allen's this physical specimen. He's large. He's a proven runner. He can run pretty well, believe it or not. And hell of an arm. Absolutely. We call him candy arm for a reason. But I don't mind the quarterback sneak. I just don't know about slipping all the way to C gap and trying to get it and then get stuck.
It was very awkward.
It was a weird play.
Yeah, like Jameis would have easily
Oh my
God,
gotten
yes.
that.
I know you're
just-
upset that the Jags won
Lord.
and the Lions didn't, and so Matt's got a game up on you right now in your bet.
Did y'all see that Julio catch?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It was like, bomb downfield. The defender, I don't even think he was really looking. He's like face guarding, and it hits the defender like in the helmet or in the arm or something, just pops up, and Julio tracks it down on the sideline, gets it, and then classic Julio toe tap. It was like one of his best catches that I've seen. It was just
Dang.
like so stupid. It's just like
They even called it out. They were like, "Nah, he didn't catch it." They're like,
Yeah.
"Hold up."
classic Julio, like hold my beer.
Man, I love to see him have a good game. I want to have him see him have a good season. I don't know what's wrong with me, boys. I need more sleep from this past weekend. But we talked about it this weekend that Julio and Christian McCaffrey are always on the IR. They're missing games. They're listed as questionable. If those two can just get healthy, think about their careers and then the success of their teams would have if those two cats get healthy.
Well, especially the hype that Julio had when he got traded to Tennessee or when he got picked up by Tennessee is everyone's like, oh my goodness, Julio with Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, this is going to be awesome. And it's just taken a minute, right? Like, I don't think we've really seen Julio have a game before he did last night. Like that was like, oh, this is the Julio we were expecting to see. So I agree. I hope moving forward he continues to put up nights like that.
Yeah, exactly. The other score that jumped out to me, Baltimore laid it on Los Angeles, 34-6.
Yeah, that was surprising.
I mean, I know we talked about Air Bear and Lamar, and I was riding with the Ravens and Lamar. I thought that offense was going to be explosive, but I also thought the Chargers were going to be explosive. I took that over, and man, I was dead wrong.
Yeah, I wish I would have watched that game. I don't know what time it was, but that was one I would have liked to watch because, I've watched a few Chargers games already, and man, they were looking good. They just had their number, I guess, in Baltimore. Each week they're proving it that they're a legit team. Since we almost beat them, the Lions, that is. I was like, you know what? I don't know if we can hold our own against a team like this. Like, are they really one of the best in the league? And I mean, it seems like they're just improving each week, even with all the injuries. So we'll see what happens. I know Devin's got to be happy.
Is this Turf Monster patient zero? Are they sacrificing their own players for a blood sacrifice to get better each week? Is this what's happening? I don't know. I mean, you might be honest on there, Tim.
Yeah, maybe Harbaugh's like doing some sacrificial ritual to the Turf Monster.
Said it last week. He's got the ashes of Edgar Allan Poe. He takes his pleated khakis and sprinkles on his khakis. I don't know, man. There's something fishy going down in Baltimore because they keep getting better. Makes no sense. No lick of sense. Any other games we want to talk about from last week?
We got to talk about Sunday night. Just T.J. Watt single-handedly won Pittsburgh that game in overtime.
What a game.
It's just crazy. I mean, T.J. Watt, it's just crazy that I never thought that T.J. Watt could be better than his brother. Like, I never thought that would be the case. And now we're talking about T.J. Watt as like, he's the best defensive player in football.
Yeah.
I mean, he was ridiculous. He had the, in overtime, he had the double team block with the tight ends, throws the tight end off him and gets the tackle for a loss. And then the fumble, where he's deep on the strong side, has to go all the way around and knocks the ball out of Geno Smith. I mean, he's just like, he's doing it all by himself. And Roethlisberger sucks. And T.J. Watt's carrying this team. It was just crazy.
It's wild. And I knew they were doomed when Russell Wilson went out there for the coin toss in overtime.
That was hilarious.
What are we doing here, Russ? What are we doing?
Russ does everything.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm glad you brought that game up because that leads me to our up and down one this week. I've got Pittsburgh on its way up while Seattle's on its way down after that loss. Green Bay improved. Arizona and Cowboys still look solid. And then Washington and Chicago made their way down after this week's performance as well.
Hmm.
Cleveland looking rough. Miami losing to the Jags. That's never good. And Broncos, who started off undefeated for a while, just can't get it rolling again since Teddy Two Gloves kind of took the job. Baltimore and Titans on their way up as well. And I mean, what's your thoughts on this list?
Yeah, it's you know, as much as I hate to say it, Cowboys are looking good. Now, I mentioned it last week about the meltdown and the head explosion, the Shadow Realm crush, all that stuff. I think it's still going to happen. Like it's like Thanos. It's inevitable, you know. But they're on the rise. They're looking good. I think out of everyone, out of that list you have there, I would give it to the Ravens and the Titans. And because the Titans, you know, this was like the first game where everyone, you know, I feel like every week the Bills are hyped up, and like Evan said, they hadn't really faced Derrick Henry or even a player remotely like him. And I mean, I'm hearing murmurs, MVP, Derrick Henry. And I think I'm for it. Like if you put another running back in place of Derrick Henry, they don't win that game. So yeah, those are my two thoughts.
Yeah, I don't hate that, you know, those thoughts at all. You know, Caleb Morton, he comes with the freezing Antarctic cold takes. You know, I promise he stays with them. He thinks the Bills are the most overrated team. I think he's kind of with Fitz a little bit. And I'm not ready to say the Bills are overrated. I'm not ready for that.
Well, like, okay, so the Bills, their opponents, it was Steelers, Dolphins, Washington, Texans, Chiefs, and then Titans. So like, if you look at those 5 teams, again, I looked at running backs. It's like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a little unproven. Who's Washington's running back? Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Gibson, you know, good rookie year last year, but still a little unproven. Najee Harris for the Steelers in his rookie debut. It's like now you're facing King Henry, like a running back in their prime. It's just a different ball game.
Yeah, but how many teams have a King Henry?
Not many, but the Bills, they'll play the Saints in November. They'll play the Buccaneers, playoff Lenny. They got CMC in December if he's
healthy.
Like I'm saying, they will have their true tests later in the season to really say, like, is this a Super Bowl defense? So like I would amend this list. Like I think like the Cardinals, like where they just demolished the Browns after this last week. I think they held them to
14.
like 290 yards. This includes a Hail Mary. Like, you know, you take the Hail Mary out of the equation. They held a team basically under 250 yards and sacked Baker like 5 times. Like I put the Cardinals like way up here because I thought that was going to be a ball game. So I think it's just different. It's like I don't put the Bills and the Cardinals in the same realm. And I think before last week they were even, and now that's just the separation really distinct there.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask this. Is there any team you put up on the up list or the down list that we don't have up there?
I'm going to say your Bengals, Parker.
On the way up?
It's a good call.
On the way up. It pains me because it came at the expense of, you know, my feelings. But you guys, I mean, we've played some pretty close games. And yeah, you can talk about the injury bug and the refs, yada, yada, yada. Same old Detroit stuff. But really, like, you guys looked good. And I was telling you last week, I think I said it last week, I think Joe Burrow is going to just pick us apart. And we couldn't get anything rolling. You guys were stuffing us. And then you guys, every possession you capitalized on. And you guys just look good. Now, like I mentioned, it may not be the best against the best defense, but like I was very impressed. Like I'm excited for you going forward because you guys got a good squad.
And they got the Ravens,
baby.
They got the Ravens this week, and that'll be the true test.
It's gonna be a test. But you know, Tim, you heard it all weekend long for my family. We, got married this weekend. Shout out to Claudia Hackey. I get to say that now. But you heard it all weekend long from my family from Cincinnati. You guys scare me. You're the best 0-5 team. You scare me. And, I'm glad we're able to be, not able to jinx ourselves this week as a whole family unit. The Hackeys, Cincinnati, we deserve this win. No, but honestly, it scared me, and I was glad to see us rolling. I wasn't ready to put us up on the up list yet. I think we're still right there. I think this test this week is going to be a big one. If we close game, we win, boom, we're up on the up list. We get blown out, we start trending down. I don't know. I'm a little worried, but I'm also a Cincinnati fan. Tim, you understand. Hopefully optimistic is not our thing. Hey, we ready to dive into our pick'ems, boys?
Yes, sir.
Let's do
I'm
it.
excited for this. This is going to be a good one. Cue that music. Gosh, I'm ready. Let's start out in Vegas. Philadelphia traveling out west. Over under set 49 points. Las Vegas 3-point favorite. Who we taking?
Man, it really bothers me. We don't start with the Thursday night game.
Yeah, it's just because when I put the graphics in, I don't do it in order like an idiot.
I know. It drives me nuts because I'm ready to go chronological order. This game, I don't really care about. I'm going to take Vegas. I think they win, even though they still have a little bit of the drama. Yeah, I think they roll through Philly.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna give it to the Raiders.
Yeah, I thought the drama would catch up to them last week. I really did. I was wrong.
The schedule's favorable. Like for
It's
it was
very
perfect
favorable.
timing for the Raiders. Like you have the Broncos and then the Eagles. It's like just two games. You just gotta take care of your things, and you should be able to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I believe in Derek Carr. Give me Las Vegas. The over/under. Give me that over. I like Jalen Hurts. Philadelphia's been able to score a little bit more each week, it seems like. And the Raiders, that's a good offense. So give me Las Vegas and give me that over. All right. Moving on, still not the Thursday night game. I apologize. Cincinnati, Baltimore. The game we just talked about, over/under set 47 points. Baltimore 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Hacky, you're gonna hate me. I think Cincinnati's defense gives Lamar problems. That this is a team that I think they're top 5 in defense right now in terms of points and yards. Yeah, in Baltimore, they've had issues at running back, but it's somehow working out. But Latavius Murray's a little banged up. They're going to rely on Devonta Freeman and Le'Veon. I just think they have problems against this defense, and be a big win for Cincinnati. They win. They're kings of the North, so king of the moment. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I was just gushing over them a few minutes ago. I think the Bengals are looking good this year. Knock on wood, but yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Bengals.
Gosh, I hate this so much. Real quick, any Ravens player get hurt last week? Do we know?
Not that I know of.
All right. As long as nobody gets hurt in practice, that means there was no sacrifice this week. That means Cincinnati gets the win. If someone gets hurt this week, they've sacrificed somebody again to Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know. Houday Nation, baby. Rise up. Cincinnati gets this done. Easy. Slate, I know you're taking the Ravens, so it's not a clean sweep, so I feel better about this. So this feels good. And real quick, we got to rewind. Matt, I'm so sorry. Even though Fitz was talking junk about you this weekend. Can't forget to talk about the Vikings-Panthers game. Panthers on my way down. Said it last week. Vikings, they're in that middle ground with my Bengals. Depending on what they do this week, I think they're on the way up. If not, might be on the way down, Matt.
So Matt has gotten me hooked on reading the Charlotte Observer because the Panthers fans are just hilarious. Like they have no faith in their team ever. So shout out to Scott Fowler of the Charlotte Observer. The headlines after the Minnesota game were, "Good Carolina Panthers were a mirage." says they're just not. They're not even real. So
Dang.
that was a little harsh. I thought Darnold played well. I thought down the stretch, they needed a perfect 2 minutes. Touchdown and 2-point conversion, and Darnold got him down the field with I think there were 2 4th-down conversions. He had a deep shot to, I think it was Robbie Anderson, who had a lot of drops in that game, but showed up when it mattered. And Darnold had another 4th-down play. They get the touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. Goes to OT, and then they couldn't stop Minnesota. So I thought Carolina played well. I think the Charlotte Observer just needs to stop being harsh on them. But
Yeah, calling your team a mirage. Ooh, that's rough.
good Panthers were a mirage.
Dang. Tim, any thoughts on it?
One day the Panthers are going to know hurt. I'm tired of the BS. Oh, our team stinks. Oh, our team stinks. Walk a mile in our shoes
That's right.
and be
That's
grateful. Be grateful.
Preach it, Father Fitz or Father Tim.
Father Fitz.
Yeah, Rev Fitz. That's your new name. I forget.
Rev run.
Panthers, Giants. We just talked about them. Over under set at 43. Carolina 3-point favorite in this game. What do we say?
I'm taking Carolina. I don't think it's a mirage. I think that the Vikings are pretty good. They've been a cardiac team that they're always in it no matter what. They're kind of the new Seahawks, I guess. They're just always in it. And Kirk, of all people, I didn't think Kirk Cousins would be their Russell Wilson, but I guess he is with that metaphor. But I'm taking the Panthers. I like their defense a lot. They need CMC back. They just got to grind till about week 9, week 10, and then hopefully they get CMC and they're relevant. So go
You're
Panthers.
going to get your boy Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I think that's the spot on. I'm going the Panthers. The Giants, I don't know. They just can't seem to get it together. So
Saquon's hurt too.
Yeah, they got quite the injury bug. Galladay was injured. Daniel Jones is seeing 3 people out there for a receiver. Like he's still concussed. They got a lot of problems too. So I'm going Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to dub this the biggest quarterback bust bowl. Okay, Vanilla Vic seeing Ghost Darnold out there. This is my I don't give a crap about game.
What?
Yeah, just not here for
worse
it.
games, man.
I don't know, man. I think Carolina gets it done. It's tough out there, man. This game does not excite me. Sorry to all the Panther fans out there.
I think
Sorry,
Carolina's
Don.
a wild card at this point.
That is true, but
I think if the season ended today, Carolina's your wild card.
thank the Lord it doesn't, right? Over under set 42.5 against the other New York squad, Jets, Pats. New England 7-point favorite. This is a rookie quarterback battle. Wilson, Jones. Who we taking?
They didn't play that long ago either. This was Zach Wilson's 4-interception game, and Belichick was just giving him nightmares. But the thing I've heard about Zach Wilson is he is a film room junkie. Like he just watches film like crazy. And, maybe this is his first true test that, he played so poorly in the first matchup, chance to go back at it. You're not facing Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's Mac Jones. I actually take the Jets on this one. I think we see a better showing. I think we've seen a turnaround in Zach Wilson in just the past 2 or 3 weeks. They beat the Titans in that time. I think it's a different Zach Wilson, and I'm a believer. I'm going to take the Jets.
Give me the Patriots. I can't remember the exact stat, but Belichick just eviscerates rookie quarterbacks. He did it already, and I think he's going to find new ways to make him lose his marbles. So, yeah, we're going Patriots.
Yeah, Belichick is a genius. I think he banishes Zach Wilson to the shadow realm, and he's done, dead, mind crushed, all that stuff. Give me New England. They get the job done. I want to say the Jets start rolling. I just don't see the fight in them I saw last season. It's just not the same energy that I saw. Miami Falcons. Miami fans were wild on Twitter this weekend. I mean, dogging them, telling them to swim back to the United States from London. They were highly upset the Jags beat them. Atlanta, maybe they're getting hot at the right time. Maybe these things are starting to click for Matty Ice. I still think he's melted. Falcons 2.5-point favorite, over-unders at 47.5.
Yeah, this is the game I don't give a shit about. I'm going to take the points over in this one. These are two of the worst defenses in the league. And I think two is due for a big afternoon, and Matt Ryan probably as well. Like, I think 28-24 covers the spread.
Yeah.
And that's a reasonable score for this game. So I'll take Miami, but yeah, this game doesn't matter.
Give me Atlanta. Matty Ice putting Tua on the burners.
If Miami doesn't win this game, maybe the whole city burns down. Pitbull has to get out, escort out. I don't know. Give me the Falcons. They're going to get the job done. I think you're right, Fitz. I like the over here. I think Tua and Ryan explode for some points. Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, they have a day. But yeah, Falcons get the job done by 7 points. Next game, Titans, Chiefs. This is a game that we potentially have circled on our calendar here. Last week, I had the Chiefs on the way down. Sunday, for the first half, I still had them on the way down. Then they turned things up. They end up blowing out Washington. Tennessee holding on to beat Buffalo. Kansas City, 4.5-point favorite. 56.5 is the over-under.
Yeah, I mean, what stands out is Josh Allen, just kind of had an air raid against the Titans. They just couldn't stop Derrick Henry. I like Kansas City in this one. They're on a mission. They know they have one of the toughest schedules in football, and they're pedal to the metal at this point. I'm gonna take Kansas City. This is an exciting matchup, but I think Mahomes starts to work himself into the conversation of up and possibly MVP.
I'm taking the Titans here. The Chiefs defense, they haven't proven anything this year. And the Titans, just beat, some would say, the best team in the NFL. I think Derrick Henry is going to have another feast. I'm going Titans.
Yeah. King Henry, man. MVP chants are starting to come in. I like it. Kansas City, I'm not sold on. Give me Smashville. Tennessee waves to Mahomes, puts him through a table. Get out the beers. Let's go down to Broadway and have some fun. Give me Nashville. Washington, Green Bay. Green Bay 9.5-point favorite, over at 49 points. Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago. Does he own Washington as well?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but he definitely owns Chicago. That was awesome. I own you.
That's a good soundbite.
I own you. Didn't do as cool as him. Packers are interesting. We've had a lot of injuries this year. We're still waiting to hear if Jair Alexander's out for the season. It's not looking good, but they haven't ruled him out for the season yet. We still need our Smith bros back. Preston Smith and Za'Darius have been out. Kevin King's been out. It's like we're playing with rookie corners, but we keep getting wins. Minus that week 1 fluke, we've won 5 in a row. It's felt like workman wins, and Rodgers and Adams and Jones are the best quarterback, running back, wide receiver tandem in football by a long shot. I don't think it's even close who the next 3 would be. Be a great table talk conversation maybe come week 8 of NFL, because I'll die on that hill. I don't think there's anybody beating those guys.
In 2 weeks, boys, we come and feast on this question.
Yeah, and Washington, I think they've been a little disappointing. Their pass defense, they've given up the most yards in the passing game. So I think this matchup favors the Packers, and it's in Green Bay. Yeah, go Pack, go.
I think so far this Washington's defense has been the biggest bust of the year. We all had high hopes for them for some exciting defense. I think Aaron Jones is just gonna have a highlight reel kind of day. I'm giving it to Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard the news story that the MIA went out, the alerts on the phones went out, and they've just been looking for Washington's defense since week 1. Put on the milk part. They're gone. I don't know what the hell they are. Chase Young, call his mama. He's got to figure out where he's at. Green Bay is going to continue that search. They're going to try to find that defense, and that defense ain't turned up in Lambeau. Give me Green Bay. Browns, Broncos. Here's your Thursday night game. Cleveland, 3.5 favorite. Over-under set 42.5. What do we say?
This might be my upset pick. I'm going to take Denver. A lot of injury reports coming in. Teddy, they're unsure if he's going to be a go. He got really rattled last week against the Raiders. And a lot of talk right now, I read the Charlotte Observer. I had to read the Denver Post. A lot of conversation of Drew Lock. They think it could be Drew Lock time. I don't think he's going to get the start, but if they get to a slow start, you might see Lock come in, or at least if Teddy gets banged up or something crazy like that. But the Browns don't have a running back. Is right now Kareem Hunt, he's out 4 to 6 weeks, and they just ruled Chubb out for this game. He's got a ginger calf right now, short week. If they're playing Sunday, not like, you know what I mean?
No,
Tender. Was that I used the wrong word? Tender calf. They say you're walking gingerly. I use that.
Use that
But
G word. All
he
right.
had a tender calf, but a short week. If they're playing Sunday, might be a go, but it's Thursday. So everyone's got to pick up this guy. Demetric Felton is going to be the starting running back for the Browns. And I don't know if you have faith in that. I think that sounds like a bust. I think Denver's defense is good. They're top of the league. I think they're top 5. It just depends on if Teddy or Drew Lock can carry. But I think it's a fluke game for the Browns. Also, didn't even mention Baker Mayfield. He's got his non-throwing shoulder is just wrecked right now. He hurt it in week 2, and then he re-injured it again against the Cardinals, getting sacked 5 times against them. So they don't have a running back, and they basically have a quarterback with one arm. So I'm going to take Denver.
Yeah, I'm going Denver for all the points Evan just said.
Yeah. You got Teddy seeing 2, still coming off that concussion, and then Baker, one labrum Mayfield out there. I don't know, I tore my labrum, and it hurts like a dog. People talk about it doesn't affect your throwing motion, but once it pops out, once it subluxes on you, that thing is sore, and you can't rip across the body. You're not being able to run like you're used to here. Give me Broncos. I'm with you. Give me that upset. Mile High gets it done.
Shout out to Pure Spectrum.
Shout out to Pure Spectrum, baby. Seth, I know you're loving that take. Just rocked the Pure Spectrum beanie from New Era. He said he loves it. I mean, it's a quality beanie. It's a quality. Well, here you go, Tim. This is the homecoming, but it's in Los Angeles to the Motor City, which I wish it was flipped. Over-under set at 50.5 points. LA 14.5 point favorite. The Cursed City, Kill Me Now Lions get to meet up with their old quarterback, Matt Stafford.
Huh. I didn't think about that. That changes the stakes on this one. I don't know.
You didn't think about that?
I didn't think about that matchup. Kind of like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll take I got the Rams, but yeah, I'll tune in for that game.
What a bittersweet moment for Matthew Stafford to just plunge a broadsword through our chest, just watch us bleed out. Oh man, of course I'm going. I gotta go Lions. I got to. But we all know where this is going.
Hey, if anybody knows that Rams defense in and out, it's Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, if this is a hell of a matchup. This might be the most exciting game I'm pumped for besides my Bengals Ravens, because you've got old quarterbacks going against their old teams. Like, this is crazy. Stafford and Goff.
Yeah.
Like, this is exciting. Goff gets his LA homecoming. I didn't even think about that spin. I was more worried about Tim's psychological welfare. Tim, I think your line's taking L here, but this is bloodshed to be reborn into an 8-8 Lions team. They're killed here. Bloodshed. They run the tables from here on out. Just saying.
I mean, I'm cool with that. I just think like Goff is gonna get eviscerated. He's gonna probably fumble twice, and I'm gonna call one interception. And Aaron Darnold might actually like grab him and like hold him up, and then like he just like Thanos like disappears, like he just crumbles, and then Goff is dead.
You guys don't deserve that. This is a close game. Rams win. Tim, you get some life and some energy back on you. You're ready to bite some kneecaps next week. I'll be hopeful, optimistic for you, just like you were for me.
Thanks, buddy.
Texans, Cardinals. The last undefeated team here, Arizona, is a 17-point favorite. Over-under set at 47.5. What do we say?
Another homecoming. You got DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Against his Texans. A little different feel, but I'm going to take the Cardinals pretty easily.
Yep, Cardinals.
Yeah, I told you. Cardinals is my team I'm betting on every single week until I'm proven wrong. It's been a hell of 6 weeks so far. We're going to keep it rolling. Give me Arizona. Plus 17? Yeah, I think they beat Texans by more than 17. Chicago going against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rodgers owns Chicago. Does Tom Brady also own? Do they co-parent Chicago here? Who knows? Tampa Bay 13-point favorite, over-under set at 47.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, they just they're so riddled with injuries on defense. Sherman now, they just got Sherman, and now he's hurt. And it is unfortunate. They're kind of like the Packers, though. They're getting these workman wins, and Brady's carrying them. And offensively, they look unstoppable. This was a tough one because I thought Fields, he showed some sparks against the Packers. And again, I think just similar defenses. Tampa and Green Bay are both playing with like secondary guys. So I don't know. I think Fields shows a little bit. I like the spread in favor of. I think Chicago could make it a lot closer than 13 points, but I am going to take Tampa. I think it's just based on the Bears still just don't have David Montgomery, although Khalil Herbert, he showed up pretty well. I picked him up in one of my leagues, but yeah, this one's just still a little too much for old Justin Fields. I don't see him taking down Tom Brady, but I think it's close, or at least closer than people are giving him.
I think it's going to be a total blowout. Give me Tampa.
With you, I wasn't sure which way you were going to go with that one. Total blowout. Give me Chicago. Tom Brady, I think he has his like weekly ritual, and like he like realizes the coach he's going against and the quarterback. There ain't no way in hell he's losing to a rookie quarterback coached by Nagy. There's no way. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me that 13 plus maybe 7 more. I think Tom Brady puts on a clinic. Chicago, I'm ready to put a fork in you. Bear down.
So I gotta say this. Hope for Bears fans. When they needed a drive against the Packers late in the game, Fields put it together, and he made it within one score. It was 17-14. They drive the field. And then that's when Aaron Rodgers responded. We have the drive of our own. It's like the Bears felt like Soldier Field was getting their energy, 100th anniversary of Packers-Bears. And then that's when Aaron Rodgers ran it in and did the, I still own you. So, there's a part of it. It's like Fields had the crowd. It was kind of like, oh, is this a turning of the tides? And it just didn't happen. So I do have faith in Fields. I think he's going to get him turned around at some point.
At some point. Maybe not this year, but we'll see. Colts, 49ers. Colts coming off just an ass kicking of the Texans. San Francisco coming off a bye week. Over-under set 44 points. San Francisco 3.5-point favorite. What do we say?
I'm taking San Fran. I don't trust Indy. San Fran's got better coaches.
Frank Wright's pissed.
Yeah, I'm going San Fran as well.
Yeah, you had a whole week to prepare, a whole extra week to prepare for the Colts. The Colts are traveling to the West Coast. There's a lot of things against the Colts here. Yes, they got a big win, but it was against the Texans. So was it really that big of a win? Maybe you should have put up 50 instead of just 31. Give me San Fran. Give me Jimmy G, Trey Lance. Doesn't matter. Scuba Steve could go start for quarterback. I think they still win. Final game, Monday Night Football. Saints, Seattle. New Orleans, 5-point favorite. Russell Wilson still out with that finger injury. Over-under set at 43.5.
Why the hell is Taysom Hill their guy?
That's just I like the pitcher. Okay, I don't know.
It's still Jameis.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take New Orleans. I think Jameis Winston throws 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans. I think Jameis is literally throwing at times directly to Jamal Adams, and he'll miss every catch.
He's the best in the nation.
He'll have a 0 interception game. Give me the Saints.
Yeah. Adams took a huge L this weekend. Best in the nation, and then ranked 66 of 88 active secondary members. I don't know. Wild. I put Hill on there because he's been producing this season, not at quarterback, but running back, wide out, tight end. He's been playing it all. He's the X factor in this game. They get him going. Give me the Saints. But Seattle's a tough place to play. It's 12th man for a reason. Yeah, you got Geno Smith out there. Get the hell out of here. Give me New Orleans. That's going to do it for our picks. Let us know how we did, listeners, watchers. We got a little special thing coming with some pick'ems going on. I know Florida Score Sports always do their pick'ems every week, $5 entry. Go hit them up. But, Coach Jystad, we had him on here before. He wants to hook us up, and our listeners and watchers, he wants to hook them up with some goods, some free stuff, some free money. And we're going to be in the works of that. So go ahead and look, keep it on your radar. Pick Track is coming back from Pub Sports Talk. So be excited for that. I'm pumped for it. Well, boys, Pub Parlay, random question time. We ready?
Yeah.
Cue that little Scrappy. Let's make some money. Hit the Pub Parlay last week, baby. We were ready. We're rolling this week. We're hitting again. We're going 2 for 2. Let's go to work here, boys.
Did we hit it?
We hit last week.
We hit it. Not a lot of money because we all took kind of the people who were supposed to win. But that's okay. Can't go broke making a profit.
Didn't I take the Titans?
Oh, yeah, that one helped. But there's only like a plus 200, 250. It wasn't a huge swing. But that's okay.
And I thought that was going to have more stakes.
Yeah. All right, boys. This week, who we taking? Matt's taking Hamilton for Formula One win. Surprise, F1 guy, right?
So random. Do I have to pick a team to win, or can I pick a point spread?
You pick a spread?
Because
like an over-under, you mean?
Well, yeah, I want to take the over in the points in the Dolphins-Falcons game.
So you're saying Dolphin-Falcons, we're taking the over.
They're gonna hit the over.
I like that. I'm
because they've undervalued them because they're both trash teams, but they're trash because they don't have defenses, and I think they're both going to score.
Fair.
Give me the Astros over the Red Sox Friday evening to win the series.
Okay, so that one we'll have to wait to put in there, but I like it. So we got Astros to win Friday night
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like it. Let me stay with college football. I think I've been doing pretty well there. Obviously, I want to take my boys App State, right? But we're going to stick with this weekend. I'm looking through my bookie right now. There's a one tasty game that I have to have. Wake Forest, Army. Wake Forest is a 3-point favorite. Give me Wake Forest plus those 3 points. I mean, Army, I think they lose by 14 points here, honestly. Give me Wake Forest -3. They get the job done. Hey, that's going to do it for our pub parlay. Random question time. Fitz, you have one for us.
I got one. And this is after watching The Closer, the Dave Chappelle stand-up comedy on Netflix. A lot of controversy around the Chappelle. And we're not going to get into controversy. But he, in The Closer, he referred to himself at one point. He made a subtle gesture that some actually call him the GOAT of comedy, the greatest comedian of all time. I wanted to ask who you guys think, and I don't want to keep it just a comedy here, but who do you think is the funniest man of all time? So this could be stand-up comedy, this could be film, this could be TV shows. Funniest man of all time.
That's tough.
Here's one for you. Weird Al Yankovic.
That's a hot take, Tim.
To me, yeah, love the guy. His music is inspirational and creative, and I've grown from him. So, I'm going Weird Al.
Man, I'm glad you think so. I cannot stand Weird Al. He just annoys the hell out of me. I think it's the mustache because I can't grow one. I don't know.
That's good to know. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I'm racking my brain. Eddie Murphy comes to mind just because he's done stand-up. He does movies. Give me Bernie Mac. Deep sleeper for me.
Ooh.
Give me Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. Yeah, R.I.P. That one hit me.
Yeah, that was
rough.
That was rough.
Love the film Guess Who with him and Ashton Kutcher. Great film. Also the Oceans. Can't
you can't, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the savvy answer, Matt Hansen on our YouTube viewer, we were at dinner. I said I think the savvy answer is probably Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people would say. He kind of was ground setting in the stand-up comedy realm. I think even Chappelle would have to give him the nod. But I don't know. I think I'm going to make a case for. I want to say Robin Williams, but then I think my bias is also in his serious roles.
Yeah,
and he's also just a hilarious man. Man, I'm torn. You know what? I'm gonna have to give it to Dave Chappelle. I think it's Dave's. I am gonna pick Dave.
Yeah, I don't mind that answer at all.
Yeah, Dave also in an interview with Letterman, and when he was talking about his inspiration for comedy, he was he's naming all these people, but he said, and surprisingly, Bugs Bunny, big inspiration for me. And I was like, I see it. You can see it, especially in some of his sketch comedy. Even his stand-up, it's like there's that Bugs Bunny, and it's like Bugs Bunny is not a real man, but I feel like Bugs Bunny is like the peak of comedy. I feel like if you're in that realm of comedy, I think I give it to you.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I like that one. Well, hey, one hell of a show. I really enjoyed it. Anything to add to it, Tim? I saw you perk up a little bit.
Oh no, I was just perking up.
Funniest man alive, Tim Farner.
Hilarious.
Rejected.
As many times as we quote Dave Chappelle this weekend too, like it sticks with us. And I think especially because our childhood was around the Chappelle show, so it was pretty big to us. But We won't talk about hot water stuff, but got some yellow cake right here.
Don't drop that shit.
All right, that's going to do it. Podcast drops on Friday. College football show, fingers crossed, Saturday. This Saturday was impossible for us to do for multitude of reasons, but we won't get into them. But have one hell of a week. Bet on some sports, drink some cold ones, enjoy, be a friend, tell a friend about the pub. Use our code PUB20 for Pure Spectrum, and use our code PUB to get 15% off Raise energy drinks. You don't want to miss it. 2 sponsors. Big stuff happening. Hit us up for the bottle openers on Instagram, all that fun stuff. I think I'll plug to all the stuff here. But have one hell of a weekend.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. See ya. Pretty God, don't drop that shit.
So dumb.